Hey there everybody, it's Wayne D. Welcome to the website. It's WayneD.com. Today we're going to be looking at the golf swing of the tour's most recent winner, JT Poston, the first player in 40 years to complete a 72-hole tournament with no bogeys, which is a pretty amazing feat considering there's only one guy ever did it before, and that's Lee Trevino. So in Poston's swing, he's 6'2" and skinny. He's listed at 165 pounds. So we're seeing a lot of Justin Thomas in this backswing here. Pretty straight away, moving upright. And then in the downswing, as you watch, you can see some interesting stuff going on down at the bottom. So when we slow it down, we're going to see some cool stuff. Here the swing is in slow-mo, so I'll just run it with my cursor here. So the face-on view, we can just kind of watch it. Can't draw any lines. It's not really lined up. But here we got a nice we have a nice shot on the tee from a stable camera. It's a little high, so naturally the shaft's going to look slightly under because of that. So knowing that, now we can just take a look. The rest of the lines will work pretty nicely. So let's watch. We're going to see a very nice takeaway slightly away from his body. So it's a little bit of a right forearm type takeaway, but the left wrist has maintained a little cup, so he's got a little more rotation in the face. But again, if that camera's down by the hands, then that's going to come right up to plane pretty much. It breaks right up over the forearm. Very nice. You can see the left arm is in front of the chest, so you would expect that progression to be, that's 49 to 58. Right elbow is in. Now he's going to let that thing go right up. So if we watch, there's a early load into the right heel with the arm staying out in front. Great control of the left wrist and the shaft there. No nothing moving off plane by very much. Looks nice. Got the right cheek still on the line. You can see the right leg has gained some space here, about even with the left so far. And at the top he maintains that, so I would, again, I like that balanced type of leg action in the backswing, and you can see he hasn't lowered a whole lot, a little bit, but his forehead has stayed really nicely out. So from that height you would expect the grip to fall a little bit first, but if we watch the right arm from that high position where it looks like it might be a little behind him, he does a great job of moving it, or what we would call adducting down and forward, so that the upper right arm is moving fully in front of his rib cage. You can see it perfectly cleared. So it's very interesting. The shallowing of the shaft is very soft, so there's no hard catch in here at all. And he keeps the shaft. He's now let it sit right on the plane. It's going to come in a little bit high, but it's nicely above the forearm. Now watch how he saves this. So you can kind of see it. he's going to maintain pronation in his left forearm a long time here. So you can take a look at the grip. It's like he's trying not to release the face. But that left wrist is going to turn that club down. Even while his left arm, you can see the elbow trying to stay forward here, which makes the arm look bent. So that keeps the left shoulder moving more up and less around. But watch the feet. That's pretty cool. So look at that right foot. I mean, it's shades of Bob Gilder with the heel down slide and the left foot flying. So look how the upper legs come together here. So he's really doing the glute squeeze there. So you can watch the belt line. And down as we get to P5, and then down to 6, and then boom, from 6 to 7, and you can see that thing go up and the feet go back. So again, that right leg, and this is something that I'm seeing more often, that right leg is driving into the left and driving the left hip up, keeping that depth. Look how the right leg is actually inside the box line. That's pretty good. So he was hitting mostly little fades. You can see his head stayed nicely out here. If we look at his iron shots, I got a couple of iron shots. You'll see a little more back up in the head. But look at that look at that footwork. I do not recommend this to those of you at home. So speaking of a nice iron shot, this was, we'll watch it full speed here. Let's take it to the full screen. So the hole's 238. It's probably hitting a 3 or 4, maybe a driving iron. It kind of looks like a driving iron. Again, really nice lines on the takeaway. And again, we're going to see beautiful hip depth here. You can see that little compression in the backswing. Right hip a little deeper. Really nice at the top. There's that tiny little drop. Now the right arm's going to come in. And again, not a whole lot of backup. So you see the head actually move into that forehead line in the backswing. And then in the downswing, it's just a hair of backup. And then look at the nice hip depth, and then when he moves that, look at those look at those feet move. So we've got that really interesting release. It's almost like a semi-throw, but he knows what he's doing. So real nice work here. And if you watch the tournament, you just saw him, and it's pretty obvious. If you don't make any bogeys, that means you get it up and down every single time you miss a green. And that is so not easy to do. But he pretty much made every putt that he had to make. And again, that great hip movement and hip depth is almost always going to give the player a significant amount of lowering during the swing. All right, so very nice work from JT Poston, who really hadn't shown that he was going to come up with. I mean, this is what everybody really is looking for on the tour, is that 1 week where everything comes together. So if you look at his results for the year, he had missed half of the last, he missed 5 out of the last 9 cuts before this tournament and hadn't finished inside the top 10. And then all of a sudden, not only does he play well, but historically well. Very nice.